Hello students, hope you are all well. Okay, we are going to start with uh, rational numbers once again. Yesterday on the earlier classes, what we discussed about the rational number was we discussed how to add rational numbers. We discussed what was the definition of rational number. So once again I am repeating, a rational number is a number which can be represented in the form of p by q, and where p and q are both integers as well as q is not equal to 0. That we learned, and we learned how to do addition and subtraction, additions by making the denominators same. Okay, the concept of making the denominator same is very important concept for you. You need to practice more and more on it. Okay, so today we are going to study about properties of addition. Today we are going to study about properties of addition. Okay, so we'll start with the first property. We'll start with the first property, that is closure property. So what is closure property? Closure property is nothing but we say if we add two or more rational numbers two or more rational numbers we will get the result as rational number as well. We will get the result as rational number as well. So what is closure property? Closure property is if we add two or more rational numbers, if we are adding two or more rational numbers, we will get the result as the rational number. Okay. This property will be applicable for subtraction, multiplication and division of the rational numbers. For subtraction, it will be if we subtract two rational numbers, the result will be a rational number. For multiplication, it will be if we multiply two rational numbers, result will be a rational number. Similarly, for division, if we divide two rational numbers, result will be a rational number. So this closure property is valid for all four types of algebra. Okay. Let's take an example. Suppose I have a number. Let's take an example. I have a number 2 upon 5 plus 3 upon 5. Okay. So as you might remember, since the denominators are same, we write down the denominator as it is and numerator with their signs. Okay. Now 2 plus 3 is 5. So number become 5 and 5. You multiply it, you simplify it, you will get your answer 1. Okay, and I can write 1 as 1 upon 1. We discussed this earlier. If we have an integer, that can also be represented as rational number. How? We just write 1 in the denominator. So on simplifying 5 upon 5, we will get 1, and 1 upon 1 is our rational number. So if we add any of the two rational numbers, the answer is always a rational number. Okay, hope it is quite okay. Moving on, next property. Second property. Okay, that is commutative property. Second property is commutative property. Okay, commutative property. What do you mean by commutative property? Let's say, first of all, let us write the addition of two rational numbers is commutative. Of two rational numbers is commutative. Now what do we mean by commutative? How is the addition of two rational numbers is commutative? That is even if the order of addition even if the order of addition even if the order of addition is different, then too the result will be same. Okay. Uh, Suppose we have two rational numbers a and b. If I am adding a plus b or I am adding b plus a, the answer is going to be same. Take an example of 2 and 3. If I add 2 plus 3, the answer is 5. If I add 3 plus 2, the answer is again 5. So for integers, they are commutative. Same goes for rational number. Addition for rational number is commutative. It doesn't matter in which order we add the numbers, the answer is always same. Okay. Let's take an example from the book. We have 7 upon 6 is equal to this is not equal to plus minus 111 upon 101. We have to check. Let me rewrite the question, please. Prove that prove that 7 upon 6 plus minus 11 upon 101 is equals to minus 11 upon 101 plus 7 upon 6. Okay, this is one of the difficult one of your questions, so I am taking this one. Okay, so we have to prove that this LHS part, this left hand side part and this right hand side parts are equal. So how do we explain it? First of all, solution. For solution, first of all, we will write down as LHS left hand side. First of all, we will solve the left hand side. After that, we will solve the right hand side and we will check whether they are equal or not. So first of all, for left hand side, let's write down the question. This is 7 upon 6 plus minus 11 upon 101. Okay. So what I told you earlier is 7 upon 6 minus 11 upon 101. This will become like this. Okay. First of all, before all this, let's take LCM. Before all this doing that much trouble, let us first take LCM. So LCM of 6 and 101. Now 6 is 2, 2 3 is 6, 101 as it is, 3, 101 as it is, and finally 101 divides 101. So in this manner you will get LCM as 606. Okay, 2 into 3 6, 6 into 1 will be 606. So what you need to do is you need to prepare your answer. How? We multiply 7 upon 6 numerator and denominator by 101, and for the second term we multiply numerator and denominator by 6. Okay, we simplify it. On simplifying, we will get 707 upon 606 plus minus 66 upon 606. So as you can see now, since the denominators are same, then what we do is we write the denominator as it was and write the numerator as they are. Okay. On simplifying it, you will get 70 minus 6 will be 64 upon 606. Okay, that will be your final answer. Okay, so we get LHS as 641 upon 606. Let's try out for RHS. Okay, this is our RHS. I'm starting it on the next page. RHS is equals to this one. Okay, we have to simplify it, we have to solve it and prove that both the RHS and LHS were equal. Again, we have already taken the LCM, so I am not going to repeat the procedure. I am just writing 101, sorry, it should be 1 into 6 upon 6 plus 7 upon 6 into 101 upon 101. Okay, in this manner you will get minus 66 upon 606 plus 707 upon 606. Once again, since the denominators are same, we take the denominator as they were, minus 66, we take the numerator along with their sign. On simplifying it, you will get 641 upon 606. As you can easily see, your LHS was 641 upon 606, and again you get your RHS as 641 as 606. So you can say, since LHS is equals to RHS, left hand side and the right hand sides are equal, hence verified. Okay, so this is what it means to be commutative. What it means to be commutative is if A plus B is equals to B plus A. Addition of any two rational numbers is commutative. Even if we change the places of both the numbers, even if we interchange the places of both the numbers, the answer is going to be same. Fine. So this was commutative property. Moving on, next property is associative property. Next property is associative property. Let me write it down quickly. For three rational numbers PQR, let us write this definition more algebraically so that you can understand it better. For three rational numbers ABC, for three rational numbers for three rational numbers A, B, C. I am saying A, B, C are three rational numbers. Don't say कि sir these are not in P by Q form. They were in P by Q form, but I am telling you these are rational numbers. I am taking them as constants. Okay. For three rational numbers A, B, C, what the associative property says is, if we add any two rational numbers with the third number, what we are doing is, first of all we will add A and B, and then whatever the result is we will add it to C. Okay, or what we can do is A plus B plus C. First of all we can add B and C, and then we add A to the result. In both the cases answer is going to be equal. This is what associative property is. Okay, let us take an example for this. Once again, this is an example from a book. Question from a book. Question is, if you have to write down, you don't need to write down the question, you can refer to the question from your book. There is a correction in this question. Okay, this is sixth question of your exercise, I guess. And R is equals to 13 upon 6. In your book, it is written as 13 upon 16. Make the correction here. This is 13 upon 6. If P is 5 upon 6, Q is minus 7 upon 6, and R is 13 upon 6. Please make the correction in your book, okay? You have to write R as 13 upon 6. In the book, it is written as 13 upon 16. Okay? Then verify that. P plus Q in the bracket plus R is equals to P plus Q plus R. So once again we have to prove that LHS and RHS are equal. Fine. So let's start with the LHS part. Solution. LHS. First of all, LHS is P plus Q inside the bracket plus R. So let's replace the value of P and Q. What is P? 5 upon 6. P is 5 upon 6. This is inside the bracket. Q is minus 7 upon 6. Minus 7 upon 6. Bracket close. And plus R. R was 13 upon 6. Let's first of all solve the bracket. Okay, we already know in BODMAS. First of all, we solve the bracket. So as you easily can see, all the denominators are same. All three terms have same denominators. So first of all, we are solving the bracket. So inside the bracket, as the denominator are same, we write the numerator as they were. Okay, plus 13 upon 6. The answer of the bracket will be 5 minus 7, that is minus 2 upon 6 plus 13 upon 6. Finally, what you do is you take once again the denominator was same, minus 2 plus 13. I am utilizing this space now. Okay, I am writing the answer over here. Minus 2 upon 13, minus 2 plus 13 upon 6. This will be 11 upon 6. Okay, so answer of your LHS is 11 upon 6. Let us move on to RHS. RHS was P outside the bracket and Q plus R. P outside the bracket and Q plus R. Let us put in the value. P was, let's see, P was 5 upon 6, Q was minus 7 upon 6 and R was 13 upon 6. P was 5 upon 6 plus Q was minus 7 upon 6 and R was 13 upon 6. Okay, so first of all, once again, according to BODMAS, we are going to solve the bracket first. Inside the bracket, since the denominator are same, we make 6 as the common denominator and write down the numerator as they were. So on solving this, you will get 13 and 7, that is 3 and 3, 6, 6 upon 6. Okay, I am not going to cancel out 6 upon 6. Why? Because I know that since the denominator are same, once again I take the denominator as common and write the numerators as they were, and I will get answer as 11 upon 6. I will get finally the answer as 11 upon 6. Once again, since LHS equals to RHS, hence verified. Okay, so in this manner you have the associative property. Once again, see associative property. What was associative property? Whatever the order of addition is, see, associative property is for 3 rational numbers and commutative property was for 2 rational numbers. For commutative property, let's just see again. For commutative property, if we add 2 numbers, whatever their order is, the answer will be same. Again, for associative property, if we add 3 numbers in different orders, first of all we add 2, then the third one, in any of the orders, the answer is going to be same. Okay, fine. Let's see. Next is additive inverse, additive identity. Okay, additive identity is quite simple. Additive identity is what should we add to a number to get the same answer. Suppose I'm asking you that what should I add to 5 so that answer is 5. I'm asking you, please pay attention, what should I add to 5 so that answer is 5? Your answer should be but obviously 0. Okay, so additive identity for any of the number is always 0. For any rational number, I can also write for any number, okay, but we are discussing chapter of rational numbers, so I am writing for any rational number its additive identity is always 0. Its additive identity is always 0. How so? Suppose, let's take an example. I have a number 13 upon 12. What happens when I add 0 to it? Answer is again 13 upon 12. So, what is additive identity? I add some number to the given number to get the same answer. I add some number to the given number to get the same answer, and that number is always 0. Fine. The thing with 0 does not happen with the subtraction. Okay, when we will discuss the subtraction, we might discuss it. Okay, so it is quite simple, additive identity. After that we have additive inverse. So what is additive inverse? Additive inverse is when a number is added with its additive inverse, the result is 0. When a number is added with its additive inverse, the result is 0. When a number is added to its additive inverse, the result is 0. Okay, so let's just say I gave you a number 5. I'm asking you what should we add to number 5 so that the answer is 0. See, let's say I'm adding x to number 5 and I'm getting the answer as 0. So what should be the value of x? Quite easy, x should be equal to minus 5. You understand this, right? So what is additive inverse of any number? What is additive inverse of any number? You just say change the sign of that number, that is its additive inverse. For example, find additive inverse of let's take first example 13 upon 2. So its additive inverse will be minus 13 upon 2. What I did was I simply changed the sign. Okay, in second example, let's take a negative number minus 2 upon 9. So its additive inverse will be plus 2 upon 9. Will be plus 2 upon 9. Okay, so additive inverse is nothing but we change the sign of the number, that becomes an additive inverse. Okay, I think there should be no problem till now. Okay, based on all these questions in theory, you can complete the exercise. There is last 4 questions of the exercise, which are something like this. I'm going to discuss one of those. Question is using properties of addition find the value of this is the last question of the exercise. Okay, rest 3 of the question I will leave it to you, you will try them yourself. Find the value of 2 upon 7 plus minus 5 upon 9 plus minus 11 upon 7 plus 1 plus minus 4 upon 21 plus minus 3 upon 9. Okay, so as you can see, it is quite a big number. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 6 terms to solve. Okay, and it is not like we are going to solve all the terms at the same time. Okay, we have to use properties of addition. So first of all, we will start with basic associative property. Associative property is even if we add certain groups of numbers separately, the answer is going to be same. Even if we add certain groups of numbers separately, the answer is going to be same. So from the solution, I am going to rearrange the numbers as 2 upon 7 minus 11 upon 7 minus 5 upon 9 minus 3 upon 9 minus 4 upon 21 and plus 1. Okay, I am going to rearrange the number in this way. The reason being, I have put the numbers with denominator 7 together, numbers with denominator numbers with denominator as 9 together, and rest of the numbers separately. Okay, so first of all, we will solve 2 upon 7 minus 7 upon 11. So this will be taking 7 as the denominator, 2 minus 11, plus taking 9 as the denominator, minus 5 minus 3, minus 4 upon 21 as it is, plus 1 as it is. Okay, so we are using the associative property. This will be minus 9 upon 7. This will be minus 8 upon 9, and finally minus 4 upon 21 plus 1. I don't think there is any problem till now. Okay, now what we need to do is, now we have to solve it as it is. Okay, now we cannot escape the longer method, we have to solve as it is. So we will observe that the denominator of all the numbers are different. The denominators of all the numbers are different. We have denominator as 7, 9 and 21 and 1. So what we need to do is, we need to find the LCM. We need to find the LCM of all the denominators. Okay, so let's see LCM. LCM of 7, 9, 21 and 1. I am not writing 1. 1 का कोई LCM नहीं होता. So first of all 3, 7 as it is, 3, 7. 3, 7 as it is, 1, 7. And lastly 3, 1, 1, 1. So LCM will be 3 into 3 into 7. 3 3s are 9, 9 7s are 63. So our LCM is going to be 63. So what we need to do is, we need to multiply numbers accordingly so that we get the answer as 63. First of all, minus 9 upon 7 into, what should we multiply with 7 to get 63? 9. Plus minus 8 upon 9, what should we multiply with 9 to get 63? 7. Plus minus 4 upon 21. What should we multiply with 21 to get 63? That is 3. And lastly 1 upon 1. It should be multiplied by 63 whole in order to get 63. Okay. In this manner you will get minus 81 upon 63 minus 56 upon 63 minus 12 upon 63 and plus 63 upon 63. Okay, let's take this to the next page. Okay, so we have this and we have to simplify this. Okay, so once again, as the denominators are same, so 63 we write down it in denominator, and in the numerator we write down them as they were. Okay, first of all we will make a group of all the negative numbers. We'll make a group of all the negative numbers. This will be 12 plus 2, 2 plus 6 is 8, 8 plus 1 is 9. 1 plus 5 is 6, 6 plus 8 will be 14, minus 149 plus 63 upon 63. On simplifying it, you will get 86 upon 63, that too of negative. So This will be your final answer, minus 83 upon 63. I guess you can do rest of the questions by yourself. Okay. Once again, exercise 1.2 now is your homework. Exercise 1.2 is your homework now. You have to complete it. Okay. And if you have problem in understanding any question, please see the video. Okay, then thank you for your time.